Welcome to Testor ScaleWorkshop. My name is Brett Green, and tonight it's my pleasure to introduce a new range of modelling instructional videos called Maus Werx by Dekker Zimmerman. The first instalment will be on how to set up and adjust your Testor's Aztek A470 Airbrush, which has been part of my airbrushing arsenal for the last 15 years or more, and is still the only airbrush that master modeller Chris Wackup uses to paint his miniature masterpieces.
Hello and welcome to the Maus Werx series of how-to instructional model building videos. We here at Maus Werx strive to bring you the best information and techniques to help you get the most out of your model building experience. We will show you how the pros build models step by step so you can easily follow along. Most of the techniques you will see are very easy to learn and simple to accomplish. So sit back and let us show you the tricks and secrets to building your miniature masterpiece. Well, a lot of people have asked me through the years how I have been able to use the Aztek A470 Airbrush made by Testor's Aztek, and a lot of people I recommend this airbrush to, they have some frustrations in using it because they just aren't setting it up right. It does take a little bit more setup than the other airbrushes on the market, but I was going to give you a quick tutorial of how to set it up. Basically, the biggest problem is using this little roller, which actually comes in handy if you know how to use it. So when you're first starting out, it all comes down to seating the nozzle here. So what you want to do is roll the roller on the back all the way to the right till it stops. Don't try to push it too hard because you can break that part. Then the next step is to put in the nozzle and make sure it's the spring here does have good action. If it doesn't, try cleaning it out, soaking it in some lacquer thinner, shaking it around, and then cleaning it up. So we'll put it in here pretty much finger tight, pretty tight. Now there is a tool for tightening it, but I don't want to use that at first. A lot of people put that on with the tool and it actually puts us in too far for where the plunger is going to be. So now that you got that finger tight, I'm going to hook up the air pressure. Okay. Now that I've got the nozzle on here and the roller all the way to the right, basically that has pulled this plunger all the way back. If I were to put paint in, and I'll show you here in a second, it will just, when I hit the trigger, it'll give me paint and air at the same time. Then what I do is I slowly roll this wheel to the left until it actually seats the plunger to push the needle to close the needle in the nozzle. Now, or the needle tip. The problem that people have is the needle is metal on this particular one, and the inner nozzle here is plastic or nylon. And what will happen is the needle, if you push it too far, or you tighten this up too far with the roller all the way to the left, it will push through that plastic nozzle, which will flare it out. Now the problem with that is then now suddenly you have no adjustability and you're spraying all the time and you can't shut it off basically. The good thing is that if you take the nozzle out and let it sit for a few hours, that nylon actually starts to have a memory and it'll close back up to its original shape. Sometimes eventually it'll get pushed out to the point where it won't come back, then you just have to buy a new nozzle. But what you want to do is just seat it just perfectly so it does not push that out. So you want to roll it just slowly as you're spraying, and that will give you what you want. And I've got some primer here to show you what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is right now, if I hit air and nothing else. It'll actually give me air and paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start rolling the roller here to the left, just a little bit at a time, and it'll start closing up that nozzle. You can see it's getting less and less and less, and get it to the point where it's not spraying any paint out. And then pull the trigger back, check it a few times. You may have to readjust the roller. A little more. Okay, now if you roll this all the way to left and it gets to the stopping point and it's still spraying paint out there when you just use the air, then you need to roll it back to the right, tighten this up a little bit more, and then do this all over again until you get that sweet spot. But once you get that sweet spot, you can get down to hairline or get wide, and then when you stop, you should just be getting air. So there are a few tips on using that system there and making a great airbrush work even better.